So my pick is going to. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel for another game breakdown video. And if you're new to the channel, feel free to hit that subscribe button. Been giving out daily winners for the last couple weeks now, so you're not going to want to miss out on the opportunity to go ahead and cash some tickets and make some cash. This video, we're going to be taking a look at Game 5 between the Bucks and the Celtics in their Eastern Conference semifinals series. And first, we're going to take a look at the offensive stats. On the Bucks side of the ball, it hasn't changed since my last video. I mean, it's only been one game, so it's not really going to drastically change all that much. But they're averaging about 114.5 points per game. They're shooting about 36% from 3 and 46.7% from the floor, whereas the Celtics are shooting about 35% from 3, 46.5% from the floor, little over 80% from the free throw line, and they're averaging about 111.4 points per game. The Bucks are a little bit better offensively in terms of numbers wise and statistics. They like to play a little bit more fast paced, so they're going to score more. They're a bit more efficient though, as you can see in their shooting percentages. They're going to make more percentage of shots than the Celtics, which is why I'm going to give the slight edge offensively to the Bucks. Then taking a look at the defensive side of the ball, the Bucks defensively are giving up about 111 points per game. They do allow their opponents to less than 20 free throws per game, which is really solid. They don't give away any free opportunities at points. And they're also the best defensive rebounding team in the NBA. Whereas the Celtics only give up 104.5 points per game, which is about 6.5 points less than the Bucks. They're holding their opponents to 34% from the three-point line, which is the best in the NBA. And they're also holding their opponents to less than 44% from the field, which is also the best in the NBA. I mean, the Celtics are the best defensive team in the NBA, so it's hard to not give them the edge. The Bucks by no means are a bad defensive team, but the Celtics are just super aggressive on defense and very relentless, so they're going to have the slight edge on defense for this game. Then taking a look at the home court advantage, obviously Boston's going to be home for Game 5 as they were home drinks Game 1 and 2, so they're going to have the advantage there, and that's why I think we see the slight advantage to the Celtics in the line at 5.5. We saw in Game 4 when they were on the road, they were 1-point underdogs, and that's just because kind of the home court for the Bucks made an even playing field. I think the Celtics are the better team, and being at home is only going to help them, which is why they're given the 5.5-point edge. If we take a look at Game 4, we'll see that Al Horford just played absolutely out of his mind. He scored 30 points. He had 8 rebounds. I think we can expect some of the same if Robert Williams doesn't play. I don't think Horford goes off for 30 again in Game 5 just because the Bucks might be a little bit more ready for it defensively. But I think he'll play significant minutes without Robert Williams in the lineup. And, he'll put up like 20 and 8, maybe 20 and 10. Nowhere near 30 points. I don't see that. If they do, they're going to probably blow out the Bucks. But I mean, the Celtics, they shot also 90% from the free throw line compared to the Bucks, about 78%. So they're making their opportunities when they get them at the line, which helped propel them to a win. And they also shot 50% from the floor compared to the Bucks' 41.5%. So they shot the ball better than the Bucks as well. After taking a look at the stats and watching the previous 4 games in the series, I think my pick here is going to be Boston minus 5.5. I mean, they're coming off a win on the road to tie up the series at 2-2. They've got a ton of momentum, and they're going to be at home for Game 5, and arguably the most crucial game in the series. If they can go up 3-2, their odds to win the series increase tremendously. And I wouldn't be surprised if this game stays close throughout. I mean, Giannis is going to try and do his best to keep it close, but they're going to be fighting an uphill battle all game, and I think the Celtics will go on a run in the fourth quarter and kind of go up by like 8 to 10 points and kind of cruise the rest of the way and finish the game up 10 points. Maybe they win somewhere between 8 to 10. So my pick is going to be Boston minus 5.5.